Hello students, how are you all? I hope you must be fine. So this is your SST teacher Hina, and here I'm having a new video on that is video number 2 of chapter number 12. This is video number 2, okay, chapter 12. So previously we were studying about in previous video about ancient period. So in ancient period we discussed about Indus Valley civilization, and this Indus civilization, the cities were there. One was your Harappan civilization, that was your Harappa, and then the other was which one? Yes, yes, and the second one was that Mohenjo-daro. So these were the two cities during that Indus Valley civilization, Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. And some of the remains of these cities are also left. That is here in Mohenjo-daro there is a great bath, and in Harappa we can see granary which is present over there, and it is famous for, and those cities are famous for these two things only. So many they have made all the like not monuments, you can say the clay making, the potteries, the weapons, all the old weapons, it was used by them. So yes, now day by during that time ancient period was coming to an end. Okay, ancient period was coming to an end, and more development also were happened during that period. So as soon the people were coming from different places, they were coming and they were improvising that period. And that period there was Indo-Aryans. Then came the Indo-Aryans. Now who are there? The Indo-Aryans. The Aryans were said that they were high born people, means very rich kind of people, where they were very classic kind of people. These Aryans wrote Vedic text, Vedic text, all the those books in which all positive things and positive aspects are written. Those were written in that Vedic text about the spiritual life, about day-to-day life, about all the positivity. It was written in that text. So yes, and these Aryans were divided into tribes also. They were having different groups. So here I can show you here you can see the Indo-Aryans. Here you can see they are usually during that time they started being educated, means taking education and writing in a paper. And that time all the rishi munis were there and do lot of rituals and all. Here you can see all the rishi munis are sitting over here, they are praying. Here also you can see that all the Upanishads, it's a kind of a sacred text or Vedic textbook. All the Vedas are written. Then here you can see the Indo-Aryans. Their journey started from 1800 to 1500 BCE, before Christ era or before Common Era. So here they came from Central Asia. They arrived here from Central Asia to India. They arrived from Central Asia to India and they started residing in India. They wrote lot of Vedic texts like this. Here you can see this Upanishad. This one. The Rishi Muni is sitting here and is writing all the textbook and all. Then number of books were written like Ramayana, Mahabharat, Upanishads. So that is why this period was actually known as Vedic period. All the Vedas were written in during this period. And here all the powerful kings or the rajas, they ruled and helped also the purohits, means all the gyanis look. Okay, these all are called purohits. They helped them, and they also gave them lot of, these rajas also learnt a lot of things from these purohits. Okay, so this was done during the Aryans, and Aryans, I have said earlier, they were very classy people, they're high born people, and these were the things during Indo-Aryan period. And this was also basically in ancient period only. Then later on what happened, After this Indo-Aryan, next period came, that is was Alexander. After the means completion of Indo-Aryans, now day by day everything was being improvised. Now next generation came of Alexander. So here you can see the picture of Alexander. He's riding a horse. It was his very faithful and favorite horse. He sit on this horse and used to do all the wars, all the fights on this horse only. But later on what happened? His horse also was dead during any war. Now this Alexander, he was also known as Alexander the Great because he was a very genius person. He had lot of ideas to how to improvise in the war or to improvise in the day-to-day life. He had many great ideas. Now he became the king of Macedonia in Greece. He became the king of Macedonia in Greece. This place is in Greece, Macedonia. And in which time? 326 BCE. Then again he defeated his major war which happened to be was with this Porus, King Porus. Here you can see again in the down one figure, here you can see here Alexander is sitting here on his horse and he is giving instruction to his all the people of his courtyard. He is giving instruction all his people to the courtyard, all the darbaris and all. Then later on his war was with Porus. Porus was also a very intelligent person. Porus was very intelligent person. But still Alexander, he was the greatest. So he defeated Porus. And Porus got defeated by Alexander. And later on he had a numerous war. Alexander had a numerous war to fight from different places and to fight from different places and many kings, so that he should preserve his kingdom. So later on what happened? He died. He died. How did he die? After the over of war, any war was being held, it was over, then he was returning back to his home, but he was slightly injured. He was slightly injured, and in that injured only some of the rivals came and hit him. They killed him. They killed him during the journey. During the journey only the rivals came and they killed Alexander. So this was the end of Alexander like this. And he died in 323 BCE. Alexander died in 323 BCE. Then next who came? There was the coming of Chandragupta. Now next generation came to be coming, that was Chandragupta Maurya. Now you must have seen also in many TVs and serials and all who was Chandragupta. He was a great warrior, and at the age of small only he knew all the Arthashastra and all the technologies he started using, and this was guided by whom? Kautilya, or you can say Chanakya. He was the most intelligent person. Now this Chandragupta Maurya. Chandragupta Maurya was the founder of Mauryan Empire. Mauryan Empire, during that time only, ancient period, these many new techniques came, and this was done by Chandragupta Maurya only. All the developments were done by Chandragupta Maurya. So he was the founder of Mauryan Empire, and Chandragupta was also the ruler of Magad. He was also the ruler of Magad. Then these all instruction and the guidance was given by whom? His advisor, that was Kautilya. This is the picture of Kautilya. This one is the picture of Kautilya, or you can say Chanakya. Then later on what happened? After Chandragupta Maurya, now the arise of Ashoka came. He was later his grandson. Who was the grandson? Ashoka. And Chandragupta Maurya grandson was Ashoka. Ashoka was the grandson. Okay, so he started taking the empire. he started taking the empire of Mauryan Empire. He started taking on, as Chandragupta was also a very great warrior. Very great warrior he was. He was the Indian emperor of Mauryan dynasty. Because of Ashoka only, many different things happened to be. Many different things. So his advisor was also Chanakya. Chanakya was a very intelligent person. Now Ashoka, his famous war which he fought with others was Kalinga War. Kalinga War was a very massive war and it was full of bloodshed war. Lots of blood were spreaded everywhere. Means lots of people were killed. Lots of people. And by seeing this, Ashoka got a very great shock. He thought that how I have killed so many people everywhere. The people are crying. The small kids are crying as they have lost their father. The wife of that means the men who were fighting in that war, they lost their life. So the married women, they were crying for that. So lot of blood were fallen over there in the field. So everywhere blood was spread. By this seeing, by this thing, when Ashoka saw, then he was in great shock and he left over the war. Means not left over, he won the Kalinga war, but he said, now I will never do any kind of war. Now he adapted spirituality. So spirituality, in that he became a saint and he adopted Buddhism. He started following Buddhism. In Buddhism, you cannot have any kind of war. You will be a very saint. You will be following a saint life, very simple life, not having any kind of fight with anyone. So he followed on that path, and this following only he embraced among other also. And this was done by Chanakya. Now next was Gupta dynasty. This is your again next generation came, that was Gupta dynasty. This was said as the golden age of modern thing. Golden age. Okay, Gupta dynasty is also known as golden age. Now here Gupta, they ruled over India to 4th to 5th century. 4th to 5th century. Now here many of the brave rulers and India started to develop in different fields, like in education, in entertainment, or in science and technology. Many things were started developing. And this is the reason why this period is also called golden age. Many things started developing, like it was science, mathematics, grammar, astronomy, all the subject wise it started. That was Gupta period. Yes. So this was a small view on the ancient period. More information you will be getting in higher class. This was a small one, but I will let you know if you have any problem in this period, this ancient period. So yes, please go through the video and watch it nicely and understand it. And I think these points you can write in your copy also. These are all the important points you can write in your copy. No need to paste the pictures, only you have to write the points what I have written over here. So you have to mention that in your copy. So yes, please go through the video and watch it. And next video I'll be posting as soon as possible. Okay, thank you students.